spend more money on your food, because at the end of the day, you gotta remember, your body is an exotic vehicle. These exotic vehicles don't take regular gas, so why you keep putting regular gas in your vehicle? Oh, it ain't just me. But I hate when I go to some gyms and when you try to get one of these, they be dry as shit. You can't even wipe off the machine. Or I hate when it be so moist that you're gonna use it for 6 machines. But at the end of the day, as long as it ain't super dry and I know it's actually working, we 100% good. But now we're actually going to move on to hip abduction. So a lot of people don't even pay this any mind, but this is technically a machine for clamshells. That's all it really is. This is the machine for clamshells. Instead of you lying on your side and trying to do clamshells, you can easily just hop on this. I'm not saying don't do clamshells. It's not what I'm saying. But if you want to get a little lazy, do understand this is the machine you can use. We're going to keep it, you already know how we get. We can keep it nice and light. We're going to start off with about 20 reps. One thing I love doing on this is kind of sitting a little bit forward, but focusing more on squeezing the glutes. So don't go further to extend where you're starting to feel it in your groin. Focus on pulling to squeeze the glutes right here. That's all you got to do. This is a little too light. I didn't realize I was that strong. And that's one thing I need y'all to do. If you're noticing that you can't really keep the tension or activate the muscle that you're trying to train, increase the weight a little bit. Increase the weight a little bit. It's very important to understand. If you're sitting there cranking them out and you don't really feel anything, that means it's entirely too light. But I always say a good thing is trying to still be able to connect with the muscle when you're using a lighter weight, because that does show your connectivity with mind and muscle connection. When you do nice clean 20, abs nice and tight, and remember, I'm squeezing the glutes once I get here. I don't have to go super wide, because if I go too wide, remember, I'm gonna start feeling it in groin. This feel good. Nice. Another thing to be mindful of too, you should incorporate this in your routine. The main reason why I'm saying this, because this is actually a machine that you see a lot of ladies do. Fellas, you can do this shit too. Do understand, the stronger we get the glutes, then guess what? When we're at the bottom of the squat, you don't really have to rely so much on a drive, because the glutes can already handle it. Fellas, we need to make sure we are training glutes, because at the end of the day, glutes is one of your strongest muscle groups. So the fact that you want to lift more with the squats, the deadlifts, the leg press, do understand you're not going to be able to reach full strength at the end of the day if you're not training your glutes. Make sure you add this as well as hip thrusts. Worst case worst, just make sure you add hip thrusts. By the way, the goal for the end of this year is 500 plus on hip thrusts. And I'm talking about cranking out about 5 to 10 of those. So be ready for those, because they coming real soon, because I've been incorporating more hip thrusts from the machine that I love and goes. I already told y'all before, never really been a big fan of actually doing hip thrusts, but I've gotten over myself because I've seen how much I've been able to lift a lot more faster from just incorporating more glute training. So I tell y'all, I love to identify weak areas, because what we do with the weak areas is we switch them in our program. We train weak areas, we make them a priority instead of keep avoiding them. When we make our weak areas a priority, guess what happens? We're able to get more out of our physique as well as performance, because the weak areas are the reason why we're not able to lift what we want to lift. A great example is if we're trying to do bench press, if you don't have shoulder stability, the appropriate tricep strength, as well as the appropriate forearm strength, to do understand, if you're somebody that's trying to maximize and lift more with your bench, and you keep getting on the bench and keep trying to train more bench, you're doing yourself a disservice. Maximize on the weak areas that are activated and required to perform in that movement. And what you'll notice is, because you've been avoiding them, you'll be able to get more out of your training. Let's get it. The game should be told, never sold, is what people miss. And at the end of the day, like I said, this ain't about me. This shit is just another day in the office. So I'm gonna show you some shit that you think is very impressive at the end of the day. But for me, like I said, it's just another day in the office. I'm just trying to make sure I'm maximizing my body the best ways that I can. But like I said, I'm tired of being a gatekeeper of this information. I want to help as many people get in the best shape of their life. And I do realize I have to understand that not everybody can really afford my training services. So this is another way of me really giving back to the people. All you got to do is watch the videos, listen, take notes, the notes that you've learned, Try to apply it as best as you can. Do understand when you try to implement it and apply it, you're not going to get it right the first time. Some of these things actually take years of practicing to be able to master. So if it's a point that 2 months in, 3 months in, you haven't mastered it, don't get frustrated. Keep working towards it. This is another reason why I keep telling y'all, sometimes just sit on the machine for 3-4 sets to master the machine. Because guess what? You're going to be able to move that to something else and get better results. Because all of these things, like I think a great example is, you see me dip easy 3 plates, right? You know how I'm able to dip 3 plates? It's because I sit on a damn seated machine dips. That's what I do. So now I've learned and mastered that. So now when I go to the dips and I'm using the belt with 3 plates, it's a lot easier because I've already mastered the same thing. You know how hard it is to max out the dip machine without flying up when you start getting weight? The same thing is transferred when it's time to get to the dips. Remember, it's just gravity is different. Now the weight is down, pulling you down, so you got to push it up. You get what I mean? I wish they could have saw my wink. Oh yeah, and it's another thing that I do love, and like I said, get consistent, because you can start increasing the weight because the shit just naturally gets easier. We still sticking with the 20. Is it set 2 or 3? The abs nice and tight. That feel good. You got one more set. Last set. This is the top of the set. We're gonna do as many reps as you can. It's not trying to hit 20 again. If you got 20, chase the 20. That's cool. I ain't gonna lie, my butt feel good though. I think I'm gonna try 175. 175. Let's see. Nah, I think I can do more. That's crazy. Oh, do understand, if you're gonna actually load your body with a lot of weight with this, make sure you stretch afterwards, dog, because your hips are gonna be tight as fuck for the next 2-3 days. Ooh, that feels good. 220. Ooh, that 10 felt too good. Too good. Make sure, remember, you stretch. I need y'all to understand, static stretching is going to be more beneficial at the end of your training. Another thing you can do if you haven't been doing this is hit the sauna for a few minutes. That's going to alleviate a lot of the tension that you put on your body. I would actually static stretch in the sauna. For those who really want to take it to the next level, do understand you do need to make sure, it doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight, and doesn't matter if you're trying to gain weight, I need you to make sure you are nourishing your body after your workouts. You got an hour because that bloodstream is wide open. You can go towards a protein shake that's going to absorb throughout your body a lot faster, or make sure you get a nice clean meal in. I'm tired of y'all doing dirty bulks. Dirty bulks are going to get you at the end of the day. You may not get you your first year, may not get you your second year, may not get you your third year, but when you see that excessive ass fat that you're getting around the stomach, remember, it's from doing a lot of that dirty bulking. So just make sure you keep it nice and clean the whole way. That's the easiest way to get more out of your body, longevity. Keep it nice and clean. Don't keep going to Panda Express, these weak ass Chinese spots, and loading up because they're giving you a lot of food for the cheapo. Spend more money on your food, because at the end of the day, you got to remember, your body is an exotic vehicle. These exotic vehicles don't take regular gas, so why you keep putting regular gas in your vehicle?